digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, guys, and welcome to another edition and the start of a new series here on THFC Till I Die called Spurs Weekly Recap, where we look at the past week at Tottenham and we look ahead to the next week at Spurs, games that are coming up. And it's more of a reflection and a look ahead and how we see things going. Joining me tonight, of course, is my usual co-host, the man who used to own the football club, you know. He is very much of his... He dies by his opinion, if I can say that. He will come out and say how it is. It is the one and only Tequila Simon Jordan 316. How are you tonight, Tequila?
All right, mate. I back the courage of my convictions. Isn't that what he says?
Yeah.
I've got back the courage of my convictions.
People are going to want to know: do you have a Simon Jordan hairstyle?
I wish. Listen. He's a very rich man, right? I'm not sure that's his hair. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
That as well, to be fair.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying it's a wig, but you know, like Rooney got his hair transplant, so I'm just saying, right? He's a very rich man. Let's put it that way.
Can I just do this? Apparently, you know, because you can. Yeah, I'll just say apparently. I want to say big up to Philip Brady, who's the first in the chat. Big up to you, Mr. Brady. He says, "How come that won't come up?" Oh yeah, it does now. Where did that 18-month suspended sentence for Paratici come from?
I just asked him about that a minute before we came on air.
Yeah. Our sources have been very quiet about that. Do you want to ask our source ask him about it, where it came from?
I can ask, but I don't know if he's going to be happy, but I'll certainly ask.
Yeah. Well, don't do it anyway. Don't get yourself into trouble. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say, this was on the Spurs web. I will put the link to this article in the members chat, so guys, do watch out for that. And its former Tottenham sporting director Fabio Paratici has been handed an 18-month suspended sentence following his involvement in the Juventus scandal. Former Tottenham Hotspur sporting director has only just completed his 13-month ban from football earlier this summer, a sanction handed down due to his role in the famous Juventus plus a Venezuela scandal. Look, we know he's coming back, Tequila. We know he's already back starting at Tottenham. He hasn't been given an official title, but we know he is working for Spurs. Do you think this is just the tail end of what he went through, and the courts had to go through this system? Like,
it's also, Dermot, did he ever stop working for Spurs?
No, I don't think he did.
I mean, officially, he might have.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he ever stopped working.
I think if he was still working for Spurs, I think Johan Lang could have used him a lot more than he did, or leaned on him.
Well, maybe they've got to be careful because technically he's not meant to be involved. So maybe they just have to be, maybe they couldn't push it too far, if you get my drift.
Yeah. Do you know, Danny Boy into a bit of dodgy dealing? Maybe that's why he left.
Maybe that's why he left. Maybe it's all going to come out in the wash tomorrow, though, mate. Who knows?
Yeah. Insider trading. What do you reckon?
That's Joe Lewis. He does that.
No, but no, that's a fair point, and I don't think anyone said it at the time. But Daniel Levy could be input. We know Joe Lewis got done for the insider trading, but it was linked back to Tottenham. Daniel Levy was the chairman of Spurs. Do you think there could be a chance someone's about to come out that he was caught up in all of this?
I think there would have been smoke without fire stuff. It's like there would have been, I think, something about it. If it were to come out, it would be a really well kept secret. Let's put it that way, without being any kind of information ever getting out. Look, we're Spurs. We always let information leak. When don't we? We
do. We found a very good plumber.
We're not particularly good at keeping secrets, to be honest.
No, we're not. Big up to Wayne Bonner as well. Big up to Wayne. He says, "Good evening, folks. Hope you're all well. Interested to see how the club and the Premier League look at the new Paratici drama." I don't think it's a drama. I think they're drawing a line under it now. I think draw a line under it. He's done his time. He's done his punishment. He's done his time. Let's move on. And I think it's just, I do want what is some people in Juventus have got away with this, and they're throwing him under the bus. Do you know, I just feel it's a bit much.
We'll never know if he was a fool guy or not. He might have taken one for the team, if that's the right terminology to use.
Yeah, that's probably true. Big up Dan Davenport. He's saying, would Levy be an ideal owner for someone like Sheffield Wednesday? Now, we do know Sheffield Wednesday are in that mess at the moment.
Yeah, probably. That is the kind of person they probably need. Somebody who's going to steady the ship. Just don't expect them to push the boat up. But I guess if you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan, you don't care about winning anything at the minute, do you?
No.
You just want to make sure your club's still alive.
Yeah. Should we be worried that these clubs are getting into these? Sheffield Wednesday is a big club of the past, Tequila, big club of the past, and it still is in Sheffield. You've got Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United, big names. You look at clubs that have gone bust in recent years too. Is the Premier League forgetting where it's, forgetting its roots sort of thing? Forgetting these clubs the clubs in the Championship, League One and League Two do need looking after as well. And why isn't there? I don't know if there is now, but I know there was a row between the DFL and the Premier League about money coming down through the system. I don't think there's still a deal now. Surely, does somebody have to come in? So the likes of the FA have to come in to sort this out, because clubs like Sheffield Wednesday, they got dodgy. They're bad. I don't know if Sheffield Wednesday are going to go bankrupt, but I think they're damn well close to it.
It always seems that every year there's always one or two clubs who seem to fall into this trap. I use the term trap loosely. A couple of years ago, Derby. Remember Derby and all the stuff with Wayne Rooney and all the problems they had? They were once in the Premiership as well, Derby County. I remember when I first got into football, Sheffield Wednesday was kind of around with Di Canio people. That's where Di Canio first made his name, in Sheffield Wednesday. And obviously Derby County were around as well. And to see clubs like that now in the lower divisions, and it's even worse than that, but now it's a snowball effect. They fall down the divisions and their revenues goes down and they're being mismanaged. And I don't know what you can do, Dermo, to actually stop it. You can give clubs more money, but is it also their owners just not being responsible enough as well? What can they do? What can the Premier League do about owners who, a lot of them being foreign? I'm not saying just because they're foreign owners they're bad, but a lot of them being foreigners and maybe not knowing what they get themselves into. a lot
I
of
mean,
times.
you look at the Premier League, Tequila. How many? You look at the state-owned clubs who got the Premier League: Newcastle, Manchester City.
Yeah.
You look at Nottingham Forest,
Yeah.
with their owners, and you look what happened at Crystal Palace with the you know, the troubles they got themselves into. I don't think the Premier League's doing enough. I don't think they're doing enough to screen these new people coming in, and they're just, especially with the state-owned owners like at Newcastle, Man City. It's like, well, here,
It just Dermo, it just feels like every so often, and I don't like it, but every so often these clubs who used to be big clubs, I mean like Portsmouth a couple of years ago, they always seem to have this kind of breaking point, and more often than not they do survive. Now, not all of them. I forget the team I'm thinking of who went out of business not that long ago. Last year it might have been, or year before.
was
But
it
a lot of
Morecambe?
them, it might have been. And I'm not saying Morecambe's anywhere near as big a show. I'm not saying that. But
No.
they do go through this process. And what normally happens is the club is normally the club is saved and a new owner comes in. But it's like it's Sheffield Wednesday's turn, right? It used to be Portsmouth and Derby, and like I say, a lot of these teams. And is it the key word was due diligence, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
How much is it? And I'm not saying the Premier League have to govern everything. Hey, they can barely govern themselves. But there is responsibility also for the FA involved as well over the whole league. So who are these people who are coming in and not running the clubs well enough? Sheffield Wednesday fans might not like it, but they're not a big club anymore, at least where their status is currently. So I don't know. I don't know the situation enough, to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and say I do, because I don't. But if they've got themselves into financial problems due to their owner, then when does it stop? These owners keep coming in and not knowing how to run clubs. Oldham Athletic, that's the club I was thinking of as well. They're all troubles Oldham Athletic have had. Oldham Athletic were in the first year of the Premiership.
Do you know, I just got it up here. The teams that were the first team in the Premier League.
Oldham Athletic was in the first year of the Premiership, and now look at they're virtually a non-entity.
Yeah, Coventry City. Look, it was Arsenal, Villa, Blackburn Rovers that were in the Championship. Coventry City are having a little bit of a
resurgence because of Lampard.
Resurgence at the moment. Ipswich Town, they're in the Championship, I think. Leeds, okay, they're back in the Premier League, but they went to hell and back.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough, they're in the Championship.
They're still in the Championship, aren't they? Yeah.
Oldham are non-league now, aren't they? They're in the non-league, the Premier non-league league, Vanamera or something like that. Queen's Park Rangers, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, both Sheffield clubs are in the Premier League, in the first Premier League. And the team Wimbledon split into two teams.
Well, yeah.
Do you know, it's amazing, isn't it, that there's some clubs in there that no longer nearly don't exist. I mean, Oldham's the biggest one out of the lot. They just, once they come out of the Premier League.
I mean, they're the ones who have fallen the most. But as you said, you've just read out those teams, and I'd say half of those teams are either been stuck in the Championship for many years now, or on a couple of the teams, such as Wednesday, they're falling even further down. But a lot of them, Dermo, a lot of those teams you mentioned, just can struggle to even get in the top division anymore. Look how long Forest were out of it for. They've had a good couple of years now, but they were out in the wilderness for 15, 20 years, weren't they?
Yeah, and how quickly they might go back down there as well at the moment.
Well, don't get me started there. I might enjoy that part. So,
but look, let's talk about Spurs in the last sort of week at Tottenham. It hasn't been a bad week, Tequila, to be fair. Let's bring them up. I know this is the last 5 games, guys, but just forget about the top 2 and just concentrate on the bottom 3. Unbeaten in the last 3, a 3-0 win away against West Ham, a 1-0 home win against Villarreal, and then the 2-2 draw against Brighton. Look, has it been a good last 3 games for Thomas Frank? I think it has. But is there any criticism you could give over the last 3 games, if you could give him any constructive criticism?
I wasn't in love with our performance against Villarreal, but we won. But I wasn't in love with that performance. That was very dull. I thought we lacked at least on that night. I mean, I think we lacked I've already said I think we lacked creativity, full stop, especially in the middle of the park. But that was just, we struggled. We got the early own goal, whatever. It is what it is. We got the 3 points. That shows some character there. But I wouldn't say that was amazing. But you take what you can sometimes. I think the 2-2 draw against Brighton was a good result because I thought we'd get a draw. I went into it not expecting to win. See, it depends how you're going into these things, Dermo. I thought a draw. I consider a draw away from home against anyone probably other than the relegation candidates a good result. That's how I view it. Some people expect us to go away from home and beat Man City like we did, but that I think that's not the normal. That doesn't normally happen, and we're not there yet, and we shouldn't think that we are. I said I think we'll finish 8th, so I look at those 4 results in the Premiership, and if I think we're going to finish 8th, then I'd say that that's not bad for a team I think is going to finish 8th.
No, I don't.
That's 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 draw, and 1 defeat. We go all the season with that ratio, we'll do well. We might even get top 6 doing that.
Yeah, I mean, look, if somebody said to you, you'd be 3rd with 1 point, with 1 goal behind Arsenal after the first 5 games, I think we all would have taken it, bitten our hand off and said, thank you very much. We'll take that. That's a great start. No, I agree with you. I think I've always had this analogy that you win your home games, but away from home, you come away with a point at least. And I think to come away with a point, and Brighton did, the 2 goals were of our own making. If you look at them, I blame Vicario for both goals, but you have to look at.
I certainly blame him for the second. He should have got a stronger hand on it, for sure.
You look at the first one.
He should be knocking that past the post, man.
Yeah,
you know that.
He should be. I was saying it there on during the watch along that if he turned his hand that way and pushed it up, that would have gone over the bar. But he tried to push it around the post, and the ball was already spinning that way anyway. Look, I feel the first goal. I think he got stuck into no man's land. He was coming out and then decided, oh, that's not very good. Started to go back, and then he was caught. He was caught. Do you know what I mean? He was just caught in no man's land. But I feel it started with Odegaard. Absolutely, he was dreadful on Saturday, Tequila. He really was dreadful. I thought Bergville didn't have a good game either, but I thought he grew into the game as it went on. But do you agree with? There's a lot of people criticizing Thomas Frank for rotating too early. We should have put Xavi on sooner. Do you think he's right to do what he's doing? Because I think he is. I think he's right to. I mean, it was said to me, why not start Odegaard against Doncaster? Well, what are you going to learn against Doncaster, playing against Doncaster? No disrespect on them to Doncaster. Do you know what I mean? You're going to learn more about a player starting them against Brighton away from home in the Premier League, or do you learn more for them starting against Doncaster? Where do you learn more about these players? Because I think it'd be the Premier League.
Yeah, but it's like, with all due respect to Doncaster, it's kind of like, so when I think of we'll use Odegaard as an example.
Yeah,
I never thought he was a starter for Spurs. I don't consider him a starter. I'm not sure what I consider him because I don't think he's impressed me enough. I mean, part of me thinks he should be put out on loan. It's too late now, but I wouldn't have been shocked had we agreed a loan from him. Because he's been injured for most of his time, so you can't be too harsh on the kid. But it's not like the opportunities he's been given, he's exactly blown people away. I'm not saying that he can't be a decent player. This isn't me throwing him under the bus. I'm saying that so far, I haven't seen much. So, if playing him against Doncaster, where you would like to think is above his level, with all due respect to Doncaster, then let him play a worldie. Then let him have a fantastic game, get some confidence, and then see if he can carry that into the harder games. So I don't want to see that many first teamers start against Doncaster. I hope Frank doesn't. Now, if we were to lose that, he'll get slated. I already know. We all know that if we go out to Doncaster Rovers, he'll get slated. But I don't want to see Romero. I don't want to see Van der Ven. I don't want to see them. I want to see the players who struggle. I want to see the Mateus Tell. I want to see the Archie Grays. I want to see the B team, for lack of a better term. And if we can't beat Doncaster, again, all due respect, with our B team, then they shouldn't be our B team. They shouldn't be at the club.
Then this is, look, I will do a predicted lineup video for the game. I'll do it tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow. It'll be out Wednesday morning. But this is the predicted lineup I have picked then. So what do you make of that? Don't forget we've got defenders injured as well, so I had to be very sort of careful of who I could pick, who I couldn't pick. But would you be happy with that as a lineup on Wednesday?
Not really, but I understand that our fullback options are limited.
Mm.
I wish we had more cover in our fullback area so that we wouldn't have to play both Spence and Indogi, right? I don't mind playing one of them, but I'd rather. I think we lack. Look, the squad is the squad that we've got, so it doesn't matter how much I wish. I suppose that the fullbacks, I suppose I'll accept that, even though I'd prefer to not play them both, because I think they both cover the left. They're both more left backs. Even though Spence is right-footed, he does a better job on the left back. We all know that.
He does.
We're playing both our left. In my mind, we're playing both our left backs in this match, right?
Yeah. No, that's
so
fair.
I'd rather not be doing that, but we haven't got a right back up unless you put Gray there, which you could, I suppose.
Yeah.
I generally agree with most of that, I suppose, Dermo. I'm not sure about Simons. I mean, maybe just because he hasn't played, maybe you can start him. I'd like to use him in more not important games, but harder games. But maybe because he needs to find his feet, maybe this is an exception to the rule because you want him to find his feet and give him more game time. It's not that bad, Dermo. I think it shows maybe our squad depth is not amazing. Let's put it that way.
No, it's not. But look, if you look at that and you look at the front tree does not inspire me one little bit. We don't know what Colo's going to do. To be fair, we don't know what he's going to be like. So I think for him, it's about minutes.
Yeah,
it's about Brian Bonner. Jack, he said, did Derma leave the legend Davis out of the lineup? What the? I didn't know where to play him. I know he's got a knock. He twisted his knees, so I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be fully fit. And I wasn't going to put him in there when he's not going to be fit. But it's Colo for me. I think Colo needs minutes. Brennan Johnson needs some sort of confidence. I said it tonight. He needs to take his head out of his ass and forget what he did last
I'm
season.
not sure. It's too early for me to make these conclusions, of course. But based on Frank's 7 or whatever games it's been in charge, I'm not sure he fancies Johnson.
Well, where do you play him? He's not a winger.
And I think that might be why he doesn't fancy him. He might think he might be a good lad. He might think that obviously he's a good finisher. That's his best asset. But he might think to him, I ain't got no idea where to play this dude.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mateus Tel, look, where are you on this, Tequila? Because look, he hasn't been great. His end product isn't brilliant. I know he was on loan last season, and maybe it does take players longer to settle into a new country or a new environment. We had this with Dembele. Was it Dembele or Dombele? Can never get the name right.
Dembele was the good one. Dombele was the terrible one.
Yeah, Dombele. Yeah. I've downloaded the All for Nothing thing on my phone. I've been watching him. Levy talking to him, like, it's very weird seeing Levy there knowing he's no longer at the club. It's extremely weird, but he's talking to him and he's saying he needs to settle down. Is this another one where I agreed with you? We should have got him on another loan with an option to buy. I agree with you. Me both agreed on that. But look, we bought him. So how do you get the best out of Mateus Tel? How do you, as Thomas Frank, get the best out of him?
Well, I think firstly you need to kind of like decide if you consider him. I know that he can. And we all know that players can play. Most of them can play one or two positions, but you're always going to have them favoured for one. So in Frank's mind, and I don't know what he's thinking, of course, he needs to decide if he sees him as a third choice striker behind Richarlison and Dominic Solanke. That doesn't fill me with confidence, by the way. Or if he sees him on the left, which also doesn't fill me with confidence. So you tell me, Dermo, is he more of a striker or is he more of a left winger? Because I don't know. You tell me.
It's like the Brendan Johnson thing, isn't it? Where do you play him? I mean, I like Mateus Tel, right? I like his attitude. I like that he's got a bit of gumption about him, and I like that he will go out and give it a go. But there's something there stopping him. Is it the Premier League? Is it the wrong league for him? is he not suited to Premier League football? Is it going to take him a bit longer to get suited to Premier League football? Is he just suited to Bundesliga, which I think is a bit slower than the Premier League? But if you're a professional footballer, you should be able to adapt to other leagues, if you know what I mean, because that's your job.
I'm always, Dermo, I'm always apprehensive when a club like Bayern Munich doesn't want you anymore. I'm always apprehensive when a club like that, with all, you know, Bayern Munich, one of the biggest clubs in the world, obviously the biggest German club, one of the biggest clubs in Europe, when they don't want you, when they obviously don't want you, there's a reason.
Bells should be ringing.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that I'm writing him off. Again, he's 19 or 20 years old, right? So it could be that in a couple of years he'll be a world beater. You never know. And I think that's why Spurs have taken the punt. But that's what it is. It was a punt. I've seen nothing so far that suggests to me that he is anything more than a decent player.
Yeah.
A decent. Like, he's okay.
Yeah. But
he's okay enough for where we want to go. I'd say no, but I just don't know where you play. Again, it's like, he's probably the third striker. I think he's more likely the third striker. And that might be the reason why we didn't go in for another striker, because Frank only plays one up top, like fully up top, one. And he's got Richarlison, I don't rate. Solanke is okay. And then you got Matthias Tell. How many goals
for strikers are we?
I know. How many goals? If you played Tell, let's say Tell started 38 games. Let's say you played him in the Premiership, right? How many goals do you think he'll get at 38 games? Do you think he'll hit double figures? Because I don't.
No, I think he'll get 9 at least in all competitions. He may get into double figures in all competitions.
What in 50 games? You think maybe that's one in 5? You think maybe?
Yeah, that's not good enough.
Not for the main man up front.
I want to see how Kolo goes. He has a talent. He does have a talent. He is very talented. We've seen what he's done at PSG. We've seen what he's done at Juventus. He's a very talented individual.
Here's another question. Here's a question, Dermo, quickly. Now you've mentioned it. Do you think bringing in on a loan is Frank more or less saying, although of course he didn't say this, that pushes Tell further down the pecking order? Do you think that maybe they realise that Tell isn't up to scratch, so that's why they got the chap from PSG on loan?
I think
the
so.
Last day. If Frank had real faith in Tell, would we have gone in for him? I'm not sure we would have. Because doesn't he play in more or less exactly the same 2 positions?
He does.
He can play on the left or he can play up front. So doesn't that put Tell really kind of like, isn't that kind of them saying, okay, so you're not going to play much this year, mate? We don't. No,
I agree with you. I think they looked and thought, fuck, we need to do something here, because I think the Solanke injury is worse than what people think it is. He should have been back by, to be fair.
Yeah.
Could be. Richie, I was so critical of him on the weekend, Tequila. He was, especially for the second goal, he backed into the player and went down like a sack of potatoes, or got injured. He caused the injury. He caused him hurting his back because he backed into the defender. It's like me backing into you, right? And you're the defender. I'm the striker. I back into you. What are you going to do? Are you going to back off me, or are you going to stand your ground? You're going to stand your ground.
I like to think so, yeah.
Yeah, and there's no foul there. So I think they looked at their options. They thought, right, we've got Richarlison, we've got Solanke out injured, we've got Richie, we've got Tell. And then you look at Kolo. He is a very good player. He didn't play Saturday because of a dead leg. And I think this does push Matthias Tell down the pecking order. But we've bought him now. It's a
weird choice, though, because obviously we're prioritizing a loan player who technically isn't ours. Yes, we could get him on a permanent, maybe, but right now he isn't. We've bought Tell, so he's now ours. Yeah. So we're going to stunt his progress now. Not that I think he's got that much potential, but if he did, it's going to stunt it. It's not going to enhance it. He's not going to play. If we wouldn't have brought in, let's call him Kolo, Moani, then it'd be getting more games. So I just think that paints a picture, unfortunately, for Tell, I think.
I think it does. I mean, look, if you look at that lineup, is that a lineup that can look? It should be able to beat
Yes,
Doncaster.
to beat Doncaster, with all due respect.
Yeah.
Yes, of course it is.
The only reason I put Palunia in there because I would make him captain.
I wouldn't
for
play
the
him,
night.
Dermo, because you got to rest him when you can. We need him. It looks like we're going to need him in every game because he's the defensive midfielder we've been asking for several years.
Okay, then. So you don't play Palunia. Do you play Bentancur instead then? Because don't forget, Basuma's not in the squad. So, and Basuma's not. I think very quickly on Basuma and why would he be an ideal for games like this?
As a warm body to throw in there, Dermo, sure. We need numbers. Get on the pitch. We know you suck most of the time, but surely you can't suck against Doncaster. No disrespect, Com.
No, no. Do you think? Look, Basuma's looking at it.
Look. He's still. We're still paying him, right? So then throw him out there. Don't be surprised if he ends up getting sent off because he takes another dive or whatever it goes through the man's brain if he's got one. Yeah. Next time he plays.
Very quickly on Basuma, do you think there was more to that than what's going on behind the scenes? Do you think he really pissed Frank off? Do you think something else happened there? I think something else has happened there. Bar the turning up late. We know what he'd done at the start of last season, Tequila. We know what he did. And maybe this is the biggest criticism for Ange Postecoglou as well, that he didn't nip this in the bud when he had the chance to. And whatever he didn't do, he's festered. He's let it fester. He's let it groan and groan and groan. And Basuma's thinking, oh, I can get away with it. Ange let me away with what I did. I can get away with it with Thomas Frank. And Thomas Frank said, no, boy. No, lad. Sorry. You fucked up once. You're out. Yeah. And whatever Frank wanted to see from him, it didn't see. Do you think there's more to it than meets the eye?
I think Brighton knew what they were doing when they happily sold him to us for about 32 million. Because I think we all thought at the time, wow, that's a really good price.
It is. It is.
Now we're starting to understand a bit more that maybe Brighton were like, you know what, that's we'll take the 32 million, cheers. This dude's just got himself into trouble in a nightclub. I know he was proven not guilty, but the point is that he still consistently seems to have something going on with him. Either it's him, it's his support circle, people around him who are causing him. I don't know what it is. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, but there's something there, isn't there? There's something not right with him when it comes to his professional career. He keeps on getting himself into some sort of trouble again and again, which says to me, Dermo, he doesn't learn from his mistakes, which says to me, get rid. He doesn't learn.
It does. No, it does. You should have got rid. You should have got rid. I think, look, just a bit of breaking news. Yamela has won the best young player of the year at the Ballon d'Or celebrations tonight. He is up for a Ballon d'Or. Yeah. Also, there could be Nuno could be going to West Ham. Now, just very look, we'll talk about that in a minute. Just very quickly, we finish on this because I will be splitting this into putting this up as the predicted lineup. Quickly read it out, guys. It's Vicario on goal. It's your Doggy, Danso, Van der Ven, Spencer's a back four, a midfield pivot two of Palunia and Archie Gray, Xavi in the number 10, Mateus Tel, Colo, and Brennan Johnson on the wings. Look, Tequila, what's your score prediction? What's your score prediction for the game on Wednesday?
I'll quickly say is I think Davis plays in that game. I know you're not going to like it, but
no,
I think it's Davis and Danso. I think we'll play.
He had a twisted knee, so I was thought, do I play him or not play him? Because I have to wait to Thomas Frank's press conference to say yes, everyone's fit.
Has he said anything about when Davis is due back then?
No, probably in a week.
Okay.
So maybe not. I agree with you. I think if Davis is fit, he plays. I agree with you.
Here's a question: would you try Tokay?
He's still injured with his foot.
Is he still injured? Okay. Well, this could have been a very good game to see the kid in action.
Yeah,
but there we are.
It would. It really would. That's a very good shout, actually. That's extremely.
I mean, with all due respect to him, I mean, if we bought him for 5 million, 5 million is probably more than most of the Doncaster players cost. Yeah. So he should be able to compete, if not excel, with that level again. With all due respect to Doncaster.
Yeah. Yeah, Colin, we are showing respect to Doncaster. If
I'm
you
trying to
are.
be respectful, Com. I'm trying my best, mate.
Do you know I'm nervous for this game? I am really nervous. It's a
They're
banana.
they're all gonna play like it's their cup final. Because let's be honest,
Yeah.
it's not every week they get to play against a much bigger
But
club
we
like
are
Spurs.
playing at home, though. To be fair,
Well, it's unlikely. I give them maybe 5%. So I'll take those odds.
yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, so what's your score prediction?
I think it'll be 3-0.
I'm going for 5-0 Spurs.
Sorry, Com. Neither one of us wants to give you a goal, mate. Our defense is the best part of our team, so there you go.
It is. It is. Guys, yeah. So look, I will split this segment off and put it up as its own sort of video. So guys, that is your predicted lineup and sort of thoughts about the lineup and what our score predictions for the Doncaster game. Look, Tequila, a few things in. What we're talking about. Yeah. We've got a few people in the chat. Big up to Wayne, David Clark. Big up to Jared O'Connor, who says, Jared says, tell was a Tesco coupon.
Club card voucher, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce this fella. His manager of the year at the Ballon d'Or was Wiegman. Is that Wigman?
Can you bring it up on screen?
Wiegman.
God. Yeah, let's
Anyway,
let's go with what you said.
He's a Wigman. He's won manager of the year at the Ballon d'Or awards tonight. So he's manager of the year. He's a League One standard. Do you know what, Jared? I think I have to agree.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's that bad.
But he has been when he's come on. To be fair,
that's maybe on the other extreme. I don't think I'd say he's League One, but I'm not sure he's Premiership either.
Never heard of that manager before. By the way, I don't even know who he manages.
I'm not sure. Either.
Big up to David Clark.
We're going to get told off. We're going to get told off by somebody saying you guys don't know who this manager is. So shame on you. By all means, let us know who. I want to know who he is. He must be bloody good. Yeah. We should be scouting him for be a future first manager when Frank gets sacked in 18 months. How cynical was that, Dermo?
It's very cynical. Here we go. It's the former England manager. Or is it the current England manager? Ladies England manager.
Oh, ladies. Okay.
Who won back-to-back European Championships? Serena Wiegman.
The lady. Okay, yes, you're right. Yes. Sorry, I think you meant bloke. Right, yes. Yes.
She's Dutch. There you go. So we did find out. And Marseille are 1-0 up against PSG, by the way, which is quite interesting in France.
Big up to James in the chat.
David. Yeah, he said, hi from Leicester. Let's get real. All Spurs fans want us to compete for the Premier League and Champions League, at least in the next 5 years. So then we have to get rid of Tell, Odegaard, Richarlison, Solanke and Johnson. I don't think you would have much complaint from me or Tequila on that one, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. I think David's being generous regarding if you want to go challenge for the league, we need to get rid more than those 5. I think there's only maybe 3 players in our whole squad that I think could win a title in a Premiership. That's me personally.
No, I sort of might agree with that. He did say keep Gray because homegrown and for no other reason, sentimental at this club has to change if we're going to compete. Very true. Big up to Jared. He says we don't have a cousin of a striker.
You're right.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, you are right. I mean, I don't really get excited about Solanke coming back. He's still good job. Boris is not in the chat because he'd be shouting at us now.
He'd be hammering us both if Boris was in the chat. Yeah.
Just a bit of F1 news. I've just saw it. I've got Sky Sports on the other screen. Just seen just any news breaks, and apparently, the Red Bull team principal got the sack early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Anyway, he got a £52 million payoff from Red Bull.
Where do I sign up for that job, Dermo? You let me know where I sign up for that one.
If you're still in the chat, Dan, let us know. I can't think of his name he's married to one of the Spice Girls. That's all I know. There you go.
Which one?
Nuno was seen at West Ham's ground at the weekend. That's interesting. Very interesting.
If I'm West Ham,
yeah,
I'm all over that because Potter.
Yeah, I am.
looks like that Brighton was the anomaly.
I tell you one thing though, I feel sorry for Harry Potter, but I think he just misses Hermione and Ronald too much. I really do.
I just think sometimes you get a manager at the right place, right time with the right club,
Yeah.
and it looks like, with all due respect again to Potter, that him and Brighton were just the perfect fit, and everything else just seems to be terrible for him. Bless him.
Would you take? Would you have? Do you think Frank coming to Tottenham is the right manager at the right time for us? I think so. I know a few Arsenal fans would have him in Arsenal right now.
I would have said maybe had Levy stayed. Now that Levy's going, I need to see if ENIC are full of it or not. And we'll find out in the next 2 years.
Mourinho back again.
No,
but I know that.
But think of it. Just let me put it this way.
Yeah.
Imagine what Mourinho / Conte could do with proper backing from this new ENIC if they are true to what they've said. Would you not have preferred a manager who has done it and won at the highest level and wins everywhere with the proper backing rather than Thomas Frank, who I like, but is unproven at the tippy top level?
Yeah.
This is what I mean by right time, right place. So if I wish Levy would have gone the year we got Conte, is that a better answer?
Yeah, it is. So do you feel that, look, the question will be asked, the question is being asked. Look, before we get on to the next 3 games, guys, I'll take that down. Sorry, but I'm really enjoying this conversation. Sorry about it. The show's gone a bit to the left, but I'm actually glad it's gone to the left because I'm enjoying it. Do you feel that with summer and January and next summer, that would prove that maybe Levy was the problem? But if the Lewis family don't back Thomas Frank, then maybe it was the Lewis family that problem. I mean, old man Lewis and Levy. Do you know what I mean? Did some people saying Levy is the scapegoat? Some people are saying it's Levy's fault. Where do you know? Is it only by next summer we will really know the answer to that question?
I will personally, I will give them 2 years before I can properly give you that answer. Me personally, I think
you're very complimentary.
Yeah, I think I won't judge them on January. I know a lot of people. I understand the must-have now, right? I understand we all want success today. I get it. I do get it. Yeah. But I won't blame them or come down on them if we don't do much business in January. I will, however, judge them very, very, very strictly next summer. If I see us going back to the scattergun approach, while we buy 7 or 8 players at 20 million, who we hope may in 5 years become something, or if we go to what I saw at the tail end of us getting quality 2 or 3 players, if we go back to that and if we get another 3 players, guys, next summer at the 50-60 million pound mark, because I don't expect us to spend 100 million on one player. I don't. But if we buy 3 or 4 for 50 million each, then I'll shut up about ENIC.
Okay.
Next summer.
That's fair. That is so fair. I think I'm with you. I mean, I went for January. I want to see some sort of improvement in January. That means 1 player in January. That means a left back.
If we were to spend 50 million in January on 1 player, that also would give me a decent indicator that something has changed. Yeah.
And with Viv and Charlie and the guys of the Lewis family that are now taking over Tottenham with Vinay and Charrington, there has Tottenham. Everyone think this like is a new takeover. It's not. It's the Lewis family taking over from their old man. And I do feel Levy was an obstacle for us gaining success. But at the end of the day, was he working to the remit set by Joe Lewis, or was he doing it off his own back? And that's the question we will only know at the end by deadline day next summer.
Probably.
And I think that'd be. I think we should
more of an indicator. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, there is a show in that, and maybe you, me, and James can do one. The 3 of us on that topic, because I feel there's a lot to unpack in that. There's a lot to unpack on what we want. Maybe coming up to the January window, what, maybe do a show in it before the window starts in January, what we want to see happen in thing. Also, there's no sign of Johan Lang getting the sack. And there's no, we know Paratici's come back, but we don't know what role he's taken. So we'll have to wait and see. Big up to James is in the chat as well. Big up to you. He says, "Evening, James. How are you both? I'm tired. I'm looking forward to going home. Back to my little cubby hole in the corner of the sitting room, bit like Harry Potter. Just Devil says, put Dermo in the corner. Mrs. Tron says, put him in the corner. And I'm quite happy working away. How are you, Tequila?
Okay, still hanging in there. Life's hard, but life's hard for a lot of us. You just plod along, don't you?
Yeah. Anyway, you could be Donald Trump. Anyway,
money. Big up to James. Big up to you, James. Also, I know you're going through some stuff as well.
Yeah,
mate,
I
so
know that as well.
everyone say hi to James because he's a good lad.
Yeah. Give him. I've actually. He's. What would you say? He is the Danny Murphy of the channel. That's who he is.
Wow. It could have been a lot, James. It could have been a lot worse because it could be Darren Bent or Martin Keown. So
we did have this conversation the other night.
At least Danny Murphy has generally been. Look, he played for. It wasn't amazing for us or anything, but he played. At least he played for us. Then again, so did Darren Bent. But Darren Bent's been a little bit. Bent's been a bit of a bitch to Spurs. He likes taking a dig, does Darren Bent. Whereas Danny Murphy generally is pretty complimentary about Spurs.
Him and Jason Conde need taken down a peg or two because they're so disrespectful when it comes to Tottenham.
I think Darren Bent is still embarrassed because Harry Redknapp said that his missus could score the goal and he couldn't personally. Because I won't forget that. That was great. No wonder. I mean, Darren Bent. Do you blame Darren Bent for hating Spurs after he was embarrassed by Redknapp? I guess.
Yeah. Can I just say this was about the 52 million? He says I'll take some of that. Not being called Danny Murphy. He also says right manager, wrong time. That's true. Scarlett was touted all over the leagues for a loan. Nobody wanted him. We've got here James saying also we have to be careful and have a measured expectations. I agree with that, but I want to see a little bit different than what we've seen on the Levy. David Clark here with a couple of points, Tequila, and with Spurs owners now changing the course, willing you spend the last play we need is Gallagher. He is a number 6, never a 10, so the best number 8. We have plenty of them. Spend it elsewhere. Of course, it's been Levy's 100% Levy's fault. Lewis given full control of the club. The Lewis family, patience has finally ran out, so they have sacked him, and now they're after a buyer for Levy shares. We're still waiting for an update from our sources on that. So as soon as we get it, just more breaking news, guys. Luis Enrique has been named Man's Coach of the Year at the Ballon d'Or, so he gets that as well. The PSG manager. Tequila, our next 3 games. We got Doncaster, of course, on Wednesday. We've got Wolves 8:00 Saturday night away at Wolverhampton, who haven't won a game all season, by the way. So if Dr. Tottenham's going to show up anytime, it's there.
Probably.
And then we're away to Bodo Glint then on Tuesday, and then we've got 12:30 kickoff at Leeds on the Saturday. Right. I want to ask about these 3 games, go through them, score predictions, and how do you think we're going to do?
I think you're looking at we should beat Doncaster or there'll be a riot, knowing the Spurs fans, bless them. I think generally Wolves away is tricky, but as you've said, they've been really bad so far.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a win as well. I'm going to go with 2 wins. James has been optimistic. I'm going to go with 2 wins, and I think we may draw against
Bodo Glint. But we did beat them last season, Tequila. So do you think they would have learned something off us, actually, saying that?
Maybe, but I mean, that was we play completely differently than we did under Ange. So I don't think you can probably count that. I mean, like I say, again, away from home in the Champions League, I think if you can get a point, that's fine. To be honest, Dermo. Yes, of course, they're far from the best team in the Champions League. Yes, then they're probably one of the weaker teams. Yes,
yeah,
this is all true. But again, I can see it being a draw. But we could win. I'll go personally. I'll go with first 2 wins. and a draw, maybe a narrow win in the third game. I don't think we'll lose any of them.
No, I agree. Look, for me, I'm going for a 5-0 Spurs win against Donny. Sorry, Colin. Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of hate WhatsApps from Colin now. He's gonna
funny enough, Com's PC is not on the fritz, so unfortunately he will not be able to come on and have a talk. Funny about that, Com, isn't it? Funny about that your PC just happens to break when.
Do you reckon it's something to do with the big game coming up on Wednesday?
I think Com realised he was going to have to come on, then he hit his PC with a hammer, and then said, "No, it's broken now."
He can still come on with his phone.
That's true. Yeah.
I think we're going to batter Wolves 4-0. I think, or 4-1. I'm not sure yet. I haven't made up my mind. Do I give them a goal because I feel sorry for them or not? But I don't know yet. So we're going to score 4 goals anyway. We're going to batter them. And I think we're going to get a 2-1 win away to Bodo Glint. Right. Let's see what the chat think. James has gone for tree out of tree. Big up to you, James, a bit like me. David Clark's gone for 3-1 Spurs win against Doncaster. Jared O'Connor's gone for 1 win and 2 draws. David's gone for a 3-1 Spurs win against Wolves. James has gone 4-5-0 against Donny, 3-0 against Wolves, 2-1 against Bodo. Big up to Rhino. We're getting to you in a minute, Rhino. Hope you're doing well. I know you haven't been, you've had a tough time recently, guys. So do also show Ryan a lot of love in the chat as well, guys, and give him a big hug. He's a good lad. A bit excitable, but he's a good lad. Actually, you know, I've got a lot of time for Rhino.
Hope you're doing okay. We know your situation is not the best, bro. So
Oh God, sorry, I'm just seeing the certain manager on my TV. Sorry. David's gone for Bodo Glint with no snow. Bodo 1 Spurs 3. James has gone for no. It's Fred. Honestly, boys, he is so peed off about it.
Yeah, I know. I spoke to him this morning. I know.
Oh my good! I say he is really pissed about it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So would you be if you spent $1.5 grand on a new PC and then it doesn't work? I mean, you'd be pissed off too.
Yeah, I would do. Spurs 1-0 with Leeds. Big up to, haven't seen him before, Patch Thomas. Big up to you, Patch. Never seen you before. So good up. Please hit the like button, subscription button as well. He says, I think we should send our first team on holiday, except to extraordinary for a fortnight. He's that convinced we're going to win all 3. I like Patch. Good on Patch. Good on you. You like
optimistic, mate. Yep.
Optimistic like me. And big up Ryan smashing the fantasy league. We are going to get that, James, in a minute. So very quickly on the timing of the Bodo Glint and the Leeds game. Well, basically, Wolves, Bodo, and Leeds. Do you think the Premier League could have been a bit more sympathetic with the players, especially with Spurs playing near the Arctic Circle? Do you think they could have played the Wolves game on Sunday night?
I think the Premiership could give 2 S's about anything other than the Premiership.
That's true.
It's unfortunate for us that, yes, it's us, but don't think for a second that they wouldn't have done the same thing to any of the other clubs because they only care about their live TV matches that they show. Yeah.
I agree. Look, I'm very angry about this because I am going to do a video on it because I think it's really unfair. Do you know? And it's putting players, everyone, the Premier League goes on about player welfare.
Yeah.
Well, you're not looking after player welfare. If you're making them go into the Arctic Circle, you're making them come back and play away to Leeds, which is not an easy game, by the way, at 12:30 on a Saturday afternoon. And also, look at the cost it is for the fans, though. If fans are traveling from Bodo to Leeds, it's not going to be cheap. Do you know, it's a lot of money.
Dermo, do you think, right, that they spend even 1 minute caring about any of what you've just said?
No, they don't. But they don't. But this is where Tottenham should come in and say, right, look, this is what we're going to do, lads. We're going to put on a flight for you or do something. Do you know what I mean? If this new Lewis family want to get the really good side of the fans, then they should be doing something like this.
So what is it? So you think Tottenham should step in then themselves?
Yeah,
and
I think Spurs should step in.
Transport?
Season ticket holders will cover your flights and we'll bring you out there and bring you back.
They're never gonna. They're never gonna.
I know
They won't cover the flights.
No, but could you? Well, why they aren't? Look, they were doing it with people going to bail for the final. There was talk they were gonna cover some of the season ticket holders for their flights coming out.
Did they end up doing that?
I think they did for some.
Okay.
But look, how many fans are gonna go out there? 200-300?
It won't be loads and loads, will it? Probably midweek.
So why can't they?
Over there. Why can't they? It's not that they can't. It's never about that they can't. It's just they won't.
Yeah. No,
and also, it's also not only that, is they don't want to set a precedent, because if they do it, then they might be expected to do it every time.
Yeah. But I just feel it should be, the club should do something. It is hard times out there. There is finances are tight for everyone. And I think Tottenham, if these new owners really want to get on the good side of the fans, if the Lewis family really want to make a nice gesture, then I think that'd be it. Personally,
I think they probably think, rightly or wrongly, they probably think that, hey, look, as long as we buy good players, the fans will fall into line. And you know what? They're probably right.
Yeah. Let's end up the show with the Fantasy Football League. We do have a Fantasy Football League. You can still join. The link is in the members section if you become a member, and then hit that link. And let's see where we're doing. I know, Tequila, I wish you'd get involved in this, Tequila.
I can't get involved, Dermot, because I want to give everyone else a chance.
Very funny. Right, well, this is the bottom. This will cheer Colin up. Last week, Colin was dead last. He's not anymore. He's gone up 3 places. We've got Katie. Big up to
Dermot. Com's in a higher position than United are. Well done, Com.
Yeah, I know. Well done, Colin. We've got Kate Just Go Live Spurs at the bottom in 12th with 218 points, 10 points adrift of
relegation. That's relegation form for.
Yeah, I think there's a relegation battle between Colin, Kate, and Coover here. I think, we've got to look out for that. Queen Mary, big up Queen Mary. Queen Mary, the first of THFC till I die. Is in 9th place on 236, 10 points behind Dave on 8th on 246, and then Tony's only just ahead of Dave actually on 251, 57 points. Mary she got more points than all the rest of them down below. Now the top 6 of the league. In 6th place, we've got Darren on 277, the same points as me. I was joint top last week, Tequila. How the mighty have fallen. So I'm in joint.
No, don't mate. You're just letting the other people win on purpose. I understand what you're doing. You don't.
I did change my team around a bit. I did drop Ireland and Salah, by the way.
Yeah. You don't want to hog the glory. I understand.
No, I know that. Right, James has made a jump from below up to 4th place. He's on the comeback at 281. So there's a bit of a buffer between myself and Darren to James.
I reckon James puts all the matches in his Football Manager, because I know he loves playing that, and he simulates it all and then puts all that information into his predictions. That's what I think he does.
James is asking, why is Dermot in bold? Because I fucked up.
He's special. You know
up.
that.
That's why I'm not special. I fucked up. I meant to put you all in bold, but I ran out of time, so I just left myself bold. We've got Rohan in 3rd on 294, and then Carl the Truth Simpson. I mean, 2nd place, 313 points, but way out in the lead. He's been up there since day one, since the first game of the season. Rhino is up there, 61 points, more points than anyone in the 12 person league. He's on 331. He's still ahead. Wow, big up to you, Rhino.
Ryan doing his Liverpool impression this season, I see.
Yeah, he is. I do reckon he's a bit of an Alex Ferguson in disguise, you know. He went in there and read them the riot act because he knew I was breathing down his neck.
We need Ryan to apply for next time Spurs manager jobs up. I was about to be sarcastic. I won't say that. Next time Spurs managers job is available, Brian, you put your CV forward, bruv.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
We'll back you. We can say me and Tequila and James were owner of the THFC Football Club.
Or the endorsement you need, me and Dermo.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring James as your tactical assistant manager. There you go. If you can find a job for me and Tequila, we'd be really grateful.
But I don't mind being a water boy. I told you I don't mind being a water boy. I'll go get.
No, yeah, I want you
H2O
as
for
the
fun.
no, I want you as chief medical officer at the team.
I couldn't do any worse than the current ones, don't I?
Yeah, that is so true. But look, Ryan, you're still ahead. A good way ahead as well, by the way. 300 good points. But yeah, that is your fantasy league, guys. Again, that will be split in tomorrow. I'll split this in, edit this show out, and there's a few edits bits. So do. So the top 6 is Ryan ahead on 331. Then we've got Carl Rohan close behind them, trying to get at him. We've got James ahead of me on 281. I'm on 277. Me and Darren are fighting it out. 31 points I got. I got the lowest in the top 6. That's bad. That is so bad. Then the bottom 12, we've got Katie Just Go Love Spurs on 218, 10 points behind Kuva, who's a point behind Colin. That's going to be interesting. 236 for Queen Mary, and then Dave is on 246, 10 points ahead of Mary, and then he's breathing down the neck of Tony Gibson. So that is an interesting fantasy league. It is. But guys, that is it. That is your Spurs weekly recap. We've had a look back at the games. We've had a good chin mag about the team that could play with Doncaster on Wednesday. We're now at basically 2 games a week, so all these Monday shows will be very much looking ahead to the games in midweek and Saturday. So yeah, so next Monday 8 o'clock, join me and Tequila, or me and James, or me, James and Tequila, as we're doing episode 2 of Spurs Weekly Recap. This week, this will be going out as a Monday night podcast, so this will be going up on our podcast on Spotify as from next week. So I'll put this episode and next week's episode up as one. The Irish Nights Talk Spurs is back next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So do join me and Dave Harris for that. That'll be going up as well as the new podcast. But Tequila, that's it. That's the end of the show. Thank you very much for joining me. Anything you want to say? Do you want to plug? Oh, you got a gaming channel you need to plug, but do you want to give that a bit of a plug and tell people what's coming up?
Yeah. Obviously, it's called the Play Pouch. A lot of you guys are already there. Obviously, we do games right now. There's not that much. The reason why there's not been anything in the last week is because we've all been playing Borderlands. So we've all been playing Borderlands. So nobody's been streaming. But we've nearly. Well, I've nearly finished it as well. So we'll be finishing that. We're probably not going to stream that one, but you never know. If people want us to, then we can. But there will be Red Dead Redemption 2 coming back onto the channel. There will be Metal Gear Solid 4 coming back onto the channel. So look out for that over the next week or so. But we've nearly finished Borderlands. So yeah, we've all been playing Borderlands. That's why there's been no content the last week. There's been games come out that we've all been playing. So simple as that. Big up James.
Big up James joining us. Hello. That's very nice. James is invisible, and then he's left. I can see his head. I can see his hand. He just needs to bring his camera down a little bit. Maybe he thought that we were off air. No, his hand is flying. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's waving. He's doing that. Right, okay. Well, listen. Also, I run a gaming channel called Double Dumb Gaming. Me and James actually run that. James is part of that. He will be doing some football manager on it. Yeah, he's going to do Football Manager 26. I'm going to start do some EFC 26 as well. I do like it. I might do like that as well. What are you thinking about doing? A Spurs playthrough? No, I'm thinking of starting my manager at the lowest ebb, and my end game is to be at Tottenham. What I might do is I might use the Create a Club feature and then call it the Play Pouch FC. Play Pouch FC, because that's obviously my channel. And then I might do similar to like what you were saying. I'll start as you start at the bottom tier of English football, and then the goal for me, because I'll stay as that club. The goal for me is I've got to win the Premier League and the Champions League, and then as the Created Club. But Dermo, you're going to be doing the career thing properly, are you? Where you start off as like, who are you going to start off as? Doncaster? No, I'm going to start off as THFC till I die. You're going to start your own club, or are you going to start off as? I'm going to do that. But your idea is to take over Spurs. Yeah, my idea is the end goal is to become Tottenham manager and win the Premier League with them. But I've got to start off. I'm not going to take over the Tottenham job I'm going to start the bottom or earn the right to become Tottenham manager.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
looking forward to it.
But listen, guys, that is it. Thank you all for watching. It's been another great show. Do hit the like button. Do hit the subscription button if you're new. And also do pick up your memberships, 99 pence. Do also hit the description below for our channel sponsor for the 25-26 season. Private internet access. Never miss a Tottenham game again with the best VPN around, guys. €55, I think. I don't know what that is in pounds, for 2 years plus 4 months free on top of that. So do hit that. We get a little kickback from it as well, guys. So it does help us. Please do pick up the memberships. There is a members only fan show coming up in the next week or so. Also, send in the super chat or send in members chat when we do shows. It does help us grow. We want to get better. We want to get to 3K. We don't want to stop at that. We want to get to 10K or 15K. We want to make this the biggest Irish Tottenham channel on YouTube in Ireland. That is what we're going to do. But Tequila, thank you all so much for coming in. Big up to Iceman as well. Big up to you, Iceman. Hope you're doing as well. Guys, thank you all so much. Come on, you Spurs. In Thomas Frank we trust. We never stop. And that's just make sure that my outro is right. It is. Do you want to take us out, boss?
Yeah, Nottingham Forest fans won't like me for saying this, but whatever. It's just who we are, mate.
Good night.